This is King Cuba production presents Keep It Real featuring the best in journalism here every Sunday, 12:30 a.m., channel 34. We're here on the second segment here doing this for YouTube and all my listeners and sponsors. Some of these great brothers that's in school doing positive work. It's a privilege and honor to have you here, and they would like to ask me some questions, and I'm going to do the best I can to answer it in the realest I can, the best of my ability.
First off, are you a Harlem native?
Yes, I'm a Harlem native here, born right here in New York City. And I was raised in the South Bronx and Harlem and part of Virginia, and that's in California.
How long have you lived in Harlem?
Well, I lived in Harlem. I was born back in the 50s. I lived on Hoe Avenue in the South Bronx. Then I moved to Harlem on 115th Street, known as the Martin Luther King Towers. And some of the people that come out that project, such as Senator Bill Perkins, that's the state senator, we come out the same building project. Mr. Prescott, who's also a director of psychiatry in Harlem Hospital, and also Freddie Myers, who just passed away last year, October 21st. He played in Superfly back in 1972. And let me see another person that was also there, who was a part of the founder of the Nation of the 5%, which is named Clarence Smith, known as Clarence 13X Smith, who was also the founder of that organization.
What does Harlem mean to you?
Harlem means to me it's a community of a lot of opportunities. It had a lot of transition from the Dutch. Then you had certain people from England. And there was a time when all the blacks and Latinos lived down on 42nd Street. That's when they had the bathrooms in the kitchen. If you ever seen that movie, Once Upon a Time in America with Rob De Niro, in that movie they showed some of the things, how that was living back at that time. Then from there I moved to the Bronx and the Patterson projects in the South Bronx, where Guy Fisher come out of, you understand, who owned the Apollo. Iran Barkley, who beat Tommy Hearns in 1986. Tiny Archibald, an NBA player, and the guy that played the Mars Squad, Link, he also come out the Patterson project.
Great. What do you think has changed over the years in Harlem?
Well, we have a real estate residential transition in the community, which means that as time when the property value goes down, it gives outside investors the benefit of the doubt to purchase property with a lower price. And then it also does difficulty for the residents who have to move out the location because they can't meet the rent's needs. So we have a residential rent problem where we have a lot of people waiting for housing, putting in application, everything is a waiting list from 5 years on up. In the meantime, you either homeless or in a shelter. In this great country, it has so much economical American revenue, resources, some of the greatest institutions and agencies that can provide the most simplest issue of humanity, and it's really dragging its feet. So we need a lot of people to take initiative and say, we have to have two elements. Housing for those who fit their means, regular working people, dishwashers, porters, you know, they have a right to live in this country decent like anybody else. It's not a crime being poor. And I think it's an old saying like my friend John Gotti used to say, spread some love. Don't be greedy. Everybody needs to eat. Everybody in America is entitled for equal treatment because the Constitution mandates that. So we also got to utilize the American Constitution. Many of us have to get in these professional jobs so that we'll be in a position to help our people. You see, so we do have a great deal of transition on the real estate market right here in Harlem.
What's something you, personally, what's something you like about Harlem?
What I like about Harlem is multicultural people. You know, stores open 24 hours a day, women running all 24 hours a day. So whatever what your desire is there. If you're gay, it's something for everybody. Everybody deserves to be treated, whether you're gay or straight, flip-flop, whatever. What we don't like is people that molest children, abusive to children, domestic violence on women. We're not trying to accept that. You know, when you have a thing with your woman, sometimes me and my lady get into it, but it doesn't go outside of just a few words, because you're supposed to be a better man than that. Her nature is to act that way, and your nature is to act disciplined and self-control with your emotions and deal with your woman.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
You actually answered my next question.
Oh, yeah.
How has Harlem changed you?
how Harlem changed me when I came back from California in 1996. I noticed that the housing was in a problem also. And I moved back up to 147th Street in St. Nicholas. I had a one-bedroom apartment. And even there, they bought the building. I had to move again. So right now, I'm on 119th Street between 5th and Lenox. My landlady passed away. So now the estate, the administrative estate, is trying to get the property. So we're in housing court right now, but I have some great lawyers. SRR Project doing an excellent job on this thing here. So right now I'm just waiting for a decision. But at least I'm not in the street.
Thank you. And if you could change one thing about Harlem, what would it be?
To make sure that everybody got the opportunity to live according to their means. No one should be left out with housing. I don't care if you got a room, kitchenette, studio. You should be able to make arrangements for that person's income to fit that status. We had a judge by the name of Bruce Wright. His son is the assemblyman, Keith Wright. And one day back in 1969, I was riding in a stolen car, joyriding. So the district attorney in the criminal court on 161st Street and 3rd Avenue told her, Judge, I need Mr. Latinez to have a $5,000 bail. So the judge, Bruce Wright, said, hold up a second. This law says that a man's bail must be according to his means. My father, King Cuba, used to be a cab driver, yellow cab. So they asked my father, Mr. Latinez, what's up, homeboy, respect all the time. He asked my father, how much money you have? He said, I'm a cab driver, all I made was $80 last night. The judge said, well, $40 is his bail. So everything has a rules and regulations to it. And he was so honorable in the laws, being fair with people, they took him off the criminal court bench and put him in the civil court. So this is what we need. So we need a lot of our people to be in the traditional system, be lawyers, judges, because when you go to John Jay College, I went to John Jay College to be a correction officer, but I stopped it to join the original Black Panthers. You see, with my nephews, Tupac's mother, Feeney Shakur, Jeruba Moore, just to name a few. You see, figuring that I can make a difference. But to tell the truth to my listening audience and to the world, around the world, I kind of wish I stayed in John Jay and completed that and became law enforcement where I can make a difference. But I'm still making a difference now as a journalist, so I'm comfortable with that.
All right, that's all the questions. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. It's a privilege and opportunity to meet y'all. Take my number so we can stay in touch and do a lot of things. I'm on the radio, too.